Okay, so welcome everyone to this new episode of EagleFly, the experimental debugger. And yeah, we are full of energy to go and code an awesome experimental debugger that we plan to do. Okay, and as we saw the last stream, we left off, I guess, if I do remember. Well, even though I think it's better if I just open the code and run it. And oh, okay. Actually, before talking, uh, I got this new awesome tool called Milton, and yeah, Milton is awesome, as you can test it out. And yeah, it's I guess it's from Sergio Rodriguez or something. I don't know. But yeah, he's the guy that made this tool, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, because if you remember the last time that we were writing some equations, I did it here and it was in pain. It was totally busted. But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna start using Milton since it looks more sweet and smooth how the way it works. So I think I can do it here. So for now, let's jump back to the code. Also, please, if you have any questions, please post them onto the end of the stream and I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, also, well, the YouTube videos that I mentioned that I was uploading, I already uploaded on 5 videos, I guess, which are the first 5 videos of EagleFly. And yeah, I'll be uploading the other videos as for the next days, I guess. And yeah, so you can watch them. All right. So after all this, let's start. I will open 4Coder. And we can get rid of pain. Bye bye. I think we understand the equation, so and we can write it another time. Doesn't matter. Okay. I have 4Coder. And the last I'm sorry. The last thing that we did was that we were drawing a rectangle into the back buffer that we got. So if I compile and I run msdef, so yeah, basically we have a little shiny square that we basically fill out with some colors just for test. And yeah, and the thing that we left that was our main task and that we are in the process of understanding was the way that we could uh, load TTF files so we can have proper and scalable fonts. That's in this case. Let me see if I already open it. If not, I can. Oh yeah, I have it. So yeah, here we have it. These are just matrices, but the main point is to, I'm sorry, I'm gonna charge my laptop since I'm running out of battery. All right. So where we left off was that we were trying to understand how the circuits work, and we got to a pretty good stage where we solved for the equation, we solved for for the quadratic equation, and now we solve also for n number of control points, which are the ones that Bezier curves use for uh, drawing the curve that we'll be drawing, you know. And in this case, I guess that we do have some way of experimenting with that with those curves. If not, like probably, I don't know if we try to see. I mean, because I guess, I mean, probably I'm missing much more stuff about the data itself, but I guess that also something important that we have to understand is that how could we join Bezier curves? You know, how could we, now that we have some function, some parameterized function that tells us, okay, this is a curve for this piece of letter, if you might say. Because for example, let me put you a simple example. I don't know if we can. Oh, actually, I think we have it here somewhere. This guy. Okay, so this is for fitting the curve, which I don't know if it's the same of getting two curves to represent our value. Okay. Curves that are parabolic in nature can be represented by a single quadratic curve, or more complex curves can be represented by several connected curves. The tangent continuous joining of such components produces a quadratic spline. Such a join occurs when curves are connected in a manner such that their shared points have the same tangent. Connected quadratic curves have first degree continuity and tangent continuity if each curve point is on the line connecting the two flanking control points. Here the curves P0, P1 and P2 and P2, P3 and P4 are connected at their common point P2. Note that in the illustration, points P1, P2 and P3 are collinear. Okay, so these are tangents as we saw, but these are tangents to, and this is okay, so this is tangent and this is tangent, and they form the same line. Okay, so probably collinear means that they are in the same line, but more fancy. Quadratic curves sharing a common anchor point. Okay, so this is interesting. This is how they mix it. They just put it up together, two quadratics, one in front of the other, you know, and that's the way. We want fewer points by removing point P2. Point P2 is not strictly needed to define the curve because its existence implies and its location can be reconstructed from the data given by the other points. After renumbering the remaining points, we have the curve shown in figure 3. P0, P1, P2, and P3. A quadratic curve with an implied uncurved point. Okay. By combining curves and straight lines, it is possible to build up complex glyphs. Such a letter form is shown in figure 4 below. The uncurved points that define the glyph are shown as small black circles. The off-curved points are shown as small open circles. So I don't remember, was the 2 is okay, a common uncurve. So the uncurved are the hidden ones and the off-curve are the express ones. Okay. This is really cool. This is like the game that I usually play, that we just join the dots, join the dots and form the figure. Yeah, I remember that. This goes from 0 and then goes and continues along up to 37. And basically that's the way the algorithm goes, basically, I guess. We start on 0 and we just start defining the equation, joining the equation, this a line, this a Bezier joining with another Bezier quadratic, this a line, another Bezier quadratic, another Bezier quadratic. And if you see, we have much more control points here, like we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so the C, it's a concave, well, it's a complete contour by itself, but letter B has 3 contours. Probably, I guess this is 1, this, or this, 1, 2, 3. As can be deduced from these examples, glyphs can have 0 or more contours. Contours. Okay, the space glyph has 0 contours. It must be possible to trace around each contour by going from point to point along the contour in the order specified in the font file. Okay. So it chooses the most appropriate pixels to be fitted along. So it's like, oh, I want to fit this quality of pixels, so they will look like this. And as you see, I mean, the form is totally different because the outline was uh, a little bit bigger and a little bit more thinner, if you might say, a little bit taller and a little bit thinner. But in the pixel rasterizer, it has to fill uh, the complete pixel, I guess. A scale endpoint can occupy a position expressible as 64 of a pixel. Okay, that's the minimum scaling thing. As a 26.6 fixed point number. Scale coordinates which are still in the original outline positions have not been grid fed by instructions will be shown with a tilde over the coordinates as in xy one and one half pixels will therefore be written as 1 and 32. Okay, so it's like 64. Okay, So we have a grid, and we have the half grid, which tells you where the center point for the pixel is. That's in the middle. And we have an array of points there. Then the scaler converts values in the master coordinate system to values in the pixel coordinate system by multiplying them by a scale. The scale is the point times standard resolution divided by 72 points per inch, defines the units per EM. Okay, so this is the resolution of points per inch. Fourier units per EM. So 72. So DPI is points per inch. Okay. Or probably 72 is the resolution. So we have basically how do I okay, so oh, come on, space. Does that mean, yeah, do I have to be clicked? This is a brush. Okay, that's crazy. So I don't know if I want to move here. May I should. Here you go. I can switch between this. Oh, this is kind of busted. Milton, what happened to you? Okay, whatever. So we're just trying to understand this thing DPI. So what I see of this equation is that we have a point size and we got its ratio across the points, the units per em. Oh, sorry, the points per inch. This is 72 points. 70 points per inch is the default resolution of points. So this is a ratio times what would be the device resolution device device resolution and that has another ratio that's the units per em. Okay, I suck. This writing sucks, man. But it's alright. Alright. So this is like the two ratios and we multiply so we can scale out from the device resolution to the to the point that we want. This is our target. So which is it's just a simple multiplication, scaling. Yeah, because this is the device and this is the units per em defined on the original resolution. You know, this is like the original. Okay, and that's 2048 units per em. The following calculation reveals that size on a 72 dpi screen at 18 points is 4.83 pixels. So you see 72 and 70 goes out. 18 divided by 2080, 2048 times 550. So I would assume that the units per EM and the points per inch have to be well, it's just a mapper. So we are transforming the points from one coordinate space to another. So the F units and the points are different, meaning that the points are themselves the ones that define um, how big they are, and the 50-50, sorry, the 550 just tells you how big you want it, like in that space. It's just a scaling. It's just a scalar that increases or decreases the value in the range of the ratio that we set. Oops. where actions are based on a geometric analysis of the features of a glyph and are size and resolution dependent. If a pixel center falls within or on the glyph line, the pixel turned on becomes part of the bitmap image of the glyph. Non-zero winding number rule to distinguish the interior from the exterior of a glyph. Draw a ray from the point in question toward infinity. Okay, add 1 to the count each time a glyph contour crosses the ray from right to left or bottom to top. Such a crossing is termed an on transition because the TrueType scan converter scans from left to right and bottom to top. Subtract 1 from the count each time a contour of the glyph crosses the ray from left to right or top to bottom. Such a crossing is termed an off transition. If the final count is non-zero, okay, so that's assuming that we start outside the point, isn't it? Crosses ray from bottom to top. Okay. Add 1 to the count each time a glyph contour crosses the ray from right to left or from bottom to top. Scans from left to right and bottom to top. So it goes this way. Okay. If the final count is not 0, from left to right or from top to bottom. Oh, that's interesting. An off transition is shown in figure 6. So all the rays go on the same direction, and for example P1 and P4, they go same single transition, so there is +1 there. Point P2 undergoes an off transition, giving it a 0 winding number, and that's because the first transition So if we go left to right, it's off. If we go right to left, it's on, and if bottom top, it's on. And if it's top bottom, it's off. So this is bottom top. So for example, P1 is bottom top. Traverse counterclockwise around the point. The winding number depends on the orientation of the curve and is negative if the curve traverses around the point clockwise. So yeah, because it travels 1 and 2 outside, 1 in the inside and 2 in the outside. And if you see that it has a little rounding, but that doesn't crosses around the point. passes around the point. So that's a winding number of 2 also. Okay, for example, so that goes in the other direction, so that's -2. That goes in the direction goes -1. That doesn't cross the point, so it's 0. That goes in the counterclockwise, that's 1. That goes 2 ways on the counterclockwise, and that goes 3 ways on the counterclockwise. It goes from theta 0, from theta 1 minus theta 0 along the polar coordinate, and the period is 2 pi, since that's what defines circle. So how many circles it has got, it tells you the angle that it goes. Oh, cool. So this is polar, it's gonna go like 270, or well, this is in radians. I don't know, more than 2 pi. If it's 4 pi, it has gone 2 times. If it's 6 pi, it has gone 2 times. If the delta between theta 1 and theta 0 is the thing that I just said, 3 pi, 2 pi, whatever, that's what gets you to the one number. Cool. It's really cool. Okay, yeah, Wikipedia makes a better explanation of winding numbers, because stupid Apple. Okay, so as I was saying, we get this is the fun. I mean, I was reading the font engine because I wanna give me an idea of how the rasterization works. So for the winding number, this means that, for example, yes, this goes this way and this goes the same way, I guess. Yeah, because this is -1, that's +1. Well, it has two contours, one that goes one that circles around in a not fashion, that's -1, and there is counterclockwise, it's -1. So for every clockwise intersection occur. Oh, okay, as viewed from P, from right to left it's a counterclockwise, and from left to right is a clockwise. That the total winding number is 0. P is outside C. So we have that point. Oh, okay. So this diagram explains how will some a curve will be filled. This crosses around the path, and this tells, oh, it has passed 2 times, so it has to be outside. If we were here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's outside, and this is 1, 2, well, 1, 2, 3, so it's inside. That's more simpler, I guess. Man, this is crazy, man. This is really cool. Where are the... Oh, but this is what the heck? No, this is not what I'm looking for. This was the one. So yes, it was the thing that I was understanding. So we can follow quite like the same pattern thing on the way they are rendering stuff based on the data that we got from the TrueType font. We just need to scale the font somehow, find the contour somehow. Well, first find the contour or draw the contour, then and have this, how is called, this master outline. Then we scale it, then we adjust it to be aligned to the grid pixel, and then we rasterize it, which is cool, I guess. And we can follow these paths to understand. It can be, well, yeah, it can be either one. Yeah, it's gonna be different if we use the even not rule or whether we use the zero winding number rule instead. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, because if they use the even not number, then either or the circle will be not filled or the square that the tail of P will not be filled, and that's something that we don't want. We want to fill both, and the way we use it, we do it, is to follow the winding of it. And it has sense because you think about it, if you make one across, well, it depends on the, yeah, it depends on the order of how we do it, because if we are filling uh, clockwise ways, so let me try to draw something so I can understand it better. And we have Milton. So imagine that we have this form, you know. We got infinity, and I wanna, I wanna put some arrows to determine what's the flow of this curve. And imagine that we want this dot. I don't know if it's been seen, but three. Okay, yeah. We got that dot, and we want to know if that dot is inside. So what we see here is that if I say that I want this ray, I want to point it that way, and as you can see, it's gonna be clockwise, so it's gonna be -1. And since it's not 0, we know that we are inside, which is cool. But what about this point here? you know, that point using the same rate we'll first get the first contour that's going counterclockwise, you know, so it's gonna be +1, and then we're gonna get to this one, and this is gonna be clockwise, so this is gonna be -1, and then we're gonna continue, and it's gonna be oh wait, this is gonna be clockwise also. Okay, and this is total -1, which tells you that it's also inside. But what about this point here? Well, I'm gonna put it here. What about this point? We use the same rate. Oh, the same rate, you know, and we see that first we see one, and it's clockwise, I guess. Yeah, it's clockwise, so this is gonna be -1, and then we're gonna get to this one, and this is also -1, which is -2, and it says that it's inside. Well, it depends. I don't know if it's this curve here. I mean, this is -1, -1, -1. Or did I? Yeah, because this goes clock. This goes clock is -1. This goes clock and it's -1, so it goes to -2. And what about this? This goes like this way, you know. So it's counter, so it's plus, and then we go minus, and it's outside. So for this, it's correct. So it depends. Probably I set out the contour wrong. Probably they have to be two different contours, I guess. I have no idea. Let me continue reading. Okay, okay, we're getting onto it. I left off here with the intersection. What I would like to see is the equation for adding both curves. You know what I mean? I don't know if we want to use compound glyphs. I don't think so. Probably we are not gonna do that. These units are termed font units. This point must be within the range 16384 minus 16384 through 16383, so it's a sign. You U16. The resolution of the grid is a function of the number of font units per EM. Okay, let me write that. The greater the number of font units per EM, the greater subtlety of design that can be represented in the font file. In determining what is a suitable grid granularity, the font designer should take into account the maximum resolution of the potential output device and allow for possible loss of precision in data conversion. Outline scaling will be fastest. The units per EM is a power of 2. Okay, that's important. It's not necessary. With 2048 units per EM. So the original design should be, I guess, the one that's grayscale, and the one that's been set is the one that's it's more opaque. Yeah, none of them are so precise. Both of them have irregularities and imprecisions. So the more granularity, the better precision for the glyph. So if we have 2048 units to em, that's basically point units, and then we have a ratio of 300 points per inch. How many inches do we need? Inches. So it's basically we by sorry, for eliminating the measurements, for getting the inches we will need to divide, and what we get inches. That's about 6.28. So yeah, basically uh, for fonts we just basically use quadratics, which is nice. It saves us extra work, but still we need to solve those quadratics for defining the form of the function, the form of the font, of the glyph. Warbling, rapid modulations in the shape due to noise in the data or random error. Three circles to view. the uncurved points, locating the midpoints of the tangents to the curve. Add no extra information and might have been omitted. Ooh. Where should points be located? The glyph outline should have points on extrema, that is, the curve positions with minimum x value, minimum y value, maximum x value, maximum y value. Should be my back curve points. Some systems for representing outline points require another curve point of tangency. Okay, an inflection point that looks like a cubic one, but probably is just two quadratics. Just flip around. Cool. Cool. The master grid. We ran. Well, let's continue. Let's see. Function definitions, instruction definitions. Functions and instruction define the font program can be accessed in the individual glyph programs. Sorry. control value location to be written, control value location to be read, number of functions to call, shown below. The uppercase New York. Okay. Super round. So this is interesting. So the TrueType font also has a opcode stored inside the file, which is interesting. And that opcode basically is stored as a binary. Sorry, I guess. So I don't know how much important should it be to use these functions. Okay, so so it's a whole set of instructions. It's like if it was a true type font language inside. That's really crazy. Clear def dep pop syntax mindex roles and swap. Okay, so 1 4 will be written uh 016. Oh, okay, because it's 64. Okay, I got you. I got you, man. Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, those those instructions that we say later before were the instructions that this the loader that Apple uses, it's been used for, but we we can choose not to use them, I guess. A given field vector and its 180 degree for opposite are equivalent. When points are moved along the freedom vector, the direction of movement of the point will be shown as illustrated in figure 14. Lines used to project distances onto the projection vector are dashed. The location where the perpendicular intersects with the projection vector is used to read the coordinate of the point. In the illustration, points P1, okay, P1, P2, and P3. Where's P3? Where's the P3, man? Oh my god. I will assume that this is P3. A1 L prime. Point P4 is at coordinate position minus 0.6. And these drawings suck, man. They don't tell the whole information. They're so the projection vector is the one that is more opaque. It has the perpendicular and it has projection vectors that pass along that perpendicular, and we want to know where does it passes along the perpendicular. This is how the engine works, but I want to know more of different information. What's all this crazy stuff? Now I have to look for something different. Yeah, this is the font engine, but Okay, I already read this. Okay, so it seems okay, here's the point movement, I guess. Is this is the O, so okay, the O seems simple. It's something simple. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they jump from here to the other way around. Huh. Oh, okay, that's the way. Yeah, so we were wrong on how we define the infinite loop, because it has to be the way, it has to go the other way around. As for example here, first it goes clockwise for the outer shell, and then it goes counterclockwise in the inner shell. And that's what helps them define that's what lets them be useful, the zero rounding, the zero, how it was called, the zero, well, that thing, the non-zero winding rule, etc. So this is goes like this, so its counter is gonna add, this goes the other way around, so it's plus, it's a minus, sorry. So it's gonna be a plus and a minus, that means it's outside. It goes to 25, it's going to 90, to 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, and then it goes to 26, and then it goes to 27. Control the left side variable by tying the distance between points 26 and 3 to control value table entry 10. And then we push 2 bytes into stack point number 3, control value table location, move point 3 until its distance from RP0. Is the value in control value table entry 10. Set RP1 to RP0.26. To point 3, do not use the minimum distance. Round and use the cut-in. This is a great distance. Set RP2 to point 3. man, this is horrible. The true type language. Yeah, so it is a language, man. It totally is. Yeah, it looks much nicer. At screen sizes on a 72 pixels device pixels. That might mean instructing a font down to 9 pixels per EM. cap high, the X high, and baseline that apply to the phone as a whole. So basically, that gives me an idea. I mean, yes, in the whole sense, I remember. Let me go back a little bit, and let me check. If I go and open, and it says, and this is here. At Phone Resource CX, we create the phone. We get the metrics and everything we need. We get the current table, everything. Here we do some current. We add the current for each pair. We free phone, and this is the function, which basically we will need to load wait a second. Get text endpoints, retail, global phone, device context, cheese code point. So yeah, this basically is gonna spit it out. Okay. So yeah, we have to find a way. This is interesting because if we use, I mean, for example, if we use Windows as a way for extracting our fonts, uh, we have. My question is how much of caveat would be to, since all that it's platform layer dependent, or what can be platform independent. Since yeah, all those functions are platform dependent, we'll need to write a font, yeah, a font, a font loader per 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 layer per platform, which I don't think we want that. We would probably prefer to use to load it ourselves, or to load it using the Mr. Sean's rasterizer that basically does that for us. And the cool part about Sean's is that yeah, we will need to control the size. We will have to rasterize every time. Uh, well, it will be the same for each point, but for each code point that we want the size for it to be. But this is really interesting. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I guess we will stop here with the true type, and we'll continue on the next stream. I guess yeah, we have now that we have observed uh, the whole true type. Well, not the whole, but at least a significant amount of understanding of how true type fonts work as a package, and how that probably yeah we I mean either we I mean the whole route would be to literally parse the true type file, which I don't know how crazy it could be. I mean, it seems totally being descriptive here. I mean, we can follow the process here and understand at least the basic things that we need to do to do this stuff. Of course, probably yeah, it won't be the best font, and that's another caveat. I mean, it depends on how much you want to really specify fonts and how much you want to work on the how much we want to process and to detail, because the yeah fonts have these huge and low little details about how they have to work, the kerning stuff, the tables, how do you fetch them, how do you scale it, how do you position it, I mean this is the whole process that we have to do. Basically, we have to get the master outline, we have to scale it to the size that we want, then we have to fit it so it it fits correctly, it feels good, it's smooth in the corners, not no jagged lines, and any other stuff that we can encounter with the yeah with the with the glyphs. And finally, we have to rasterize it. Well, I mean, it's a complete process. It's really cool, and yeah, I mean, we would try to think about whether it's uh yeah how much viable would be, since we want I mean what we want to do is to yeah, to have some code that enables us to load fonts from platform independent codes. And now that I think about it, well, it would be the same. No, I guess yeah. All the time we have to load it. I mean, we have to rasterize it for each size and scale it. That's normal. I mean, that's the same process. That's the process that we see here. But yep, we will see for the next stream what we do, what we decide. For now, I guess that's all for today. If somebody have has any questions, please post them on Twitch, and I'll be happy to answer them. Where's Twitch? This is not Twitch. Man, Twitch is it's lost, man. Where's Twitch? I'm streaming and I'm recording, but I can't find Twitch. No. I can close this. I can minimize this. I can minimize this. I can minimize this. Oh, I can close this. This is Milton. We can save the canvas. If it's autosave, man, it's autosave. Cool. I love you, Milton. But man, you have to do something with this because I cannot move the canvas with space. It's kind of busted. I mean, you mean the space one? I mean, I can click and drag, so, but just one, you know? I mean, it's crazy, but yeah. And where in live? It's the Twitch. Where are you? Man, did I close Twitch? And I'm still going live? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was crazy. Why do you do this to me? Okay, so let's see. Do we have questions? No. No questions? Alright. So what I would say is to thank you very much for coming on to the stream. If you would like to post any questions, you can post them rather on Twitch or on YouTube, now that we have already posted some YouTube videos, some recorded videos that we got. And yeah, we also, there are some left that I need to upload also. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's good for today. I guess I want to say something important. I was looking forward to paste my, to have a more how do you say this, to have a more open and more this no, how you say, more explainful about the project. I would like to open a dialogue on the handmade network forums, which I think it's really cool, since I've been following Handmade Hero for a while now, and actually it's part of my inspirations for starting this project. So as for that, I think the handmade network community is really, it's full of creators and full of really inspirational people that I would like to follow them, and I would like to post this project into there. So I guess that I would do that for uh, for the next time, and I would do that as soon as I can. And yeah, I I try to follow the process of the creation of this debugger throughout the handmade network, and also you will like so that sets us for opportunity to have a dialogue, to you, for you to ask questions of whether the things I do here, and if you have suggestions, even I can see them, and we can and I am open to take suggestions of anyone. So yeah, I mean we have a complete world there that we can use, and we can, I think it's going to improve a lot the the process and the tool that we are creating here. So yeah, I think that's the next step for this project. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's all for today. So guys, thank you very much, and I will see you for the next stream.